Hey everybody, it's JackDFX coming at you with another Minecraft tutorial, and today we're going to be going over a tried and true old circuit in the Minecraft community, namely the item sorter. Now there have been many different iterations of the item sorter. We're going to be going over the basic design that's been around since 2013, as well as a couple of different alterations. As you may know, that there are a lot of people in the Minecraft community, the Redstone community, who have made their own changes and improvements to the existing design. So without further ado, let's get to the tutorial. Now what we have here is one of the most basic and oldest iterations of the iron filter. Now this design has been around since 2013 when they first introduced the comparator, so it's quite old, and but still it can be used in a number of applications. It's very resource light and also tileable. It's only 1 wide and 3 high, so it's perfect for a lot of different applications. It's very compact. The idea is you have a comparator that reads from a hopper to see if there's any items in this hopper, and then outputs a signal from that goes along this redstone wire. Now, depending on the number of items in the hopper, it will give a corresponding redstone signal strength. Now, in this case right now, we have about 22 items in your item hopper, and you have a signal strength of 1. If you were to take that to anything over 22 items, and that signal strength would increase over to this point here. In this case, what happens is when this gets powered, the power will be going into this block, which will then turn on this repeater, which will power this block, and then turn off this redstone torch. Now, so long as this redstone torch is turned on, this hopper will stay locked, and this hopper cannot let any items through into this hopper and out and through this chest. Also, this hopper is already filled with items, so items that are currently in it are the only ones that can pass through it. In this case, we have 2 iron ingots, and we have a number of grass blocks which have been renamed to the name filler. This is to prevent any other grass blocks that may come into the system from actually screwing up the system by entering into here. So let's see how this works. So all you have to do is go to this chest, take some items. Let's take half of this amount that's there, so 31 items going into the chest. It goes through and starts going through the system, and as you'll see, you have a signal strength that increases. The repeater is activated and the redstone torch is turned off, allowing items to pass in through to this hopper, and also going in through this hopper too, until everything goes through. And then you'll see you have 30 items that are in here. And where's the last one? Well, the last one's in here because you still have a little bit that passes through. So when the first time that you enter this, you may want to put 3 items to start off, so that you always end up with 1 item in this, and then that'll always end up going through, so you'll end up with your full amount after. So let's say now we have our remaining 31 iron ingots. Let's put those in, and again it's going to keep on going and doing its thing, and once it's done, you'll see all the items end up going into the chest. So we should end up with about 60 items, or sorry, 61 items, my mistake. 61 items, basically because 32 times 2, so that's right, 31 times 2 is 61, it'll be 62, minus 1 will be 61. So we got 61 items in the chest, and of course to make that 62, we gotta just make sure we get this item out from here. Take this one out there, and there you go, you got your 62 items that are right there. So always make sure that, of course, when you're setting this thing, when you're setting your item filter, you want to go like this: 1, 2, and then put 1 more, 3, and then that goes through, and now you're set. Now, if you happen to have a hopper pipe that goes from here and goes further down and in front of the torch, you want to make sure you put 4 items on here, 1 at a time, so that you'll end up with 1 item in here and 1 item in the hopper that's below where this chest is right now, because any hoppers around this torch are going to get locked. So that's why you want to make sure you have enough that goes through, so that once you do start having items come in normally on a normal system, you'll get the expected number of items into your chest. Now, what about items that are not in this hopper over here? So let's go ahead and get some grass blocks, and we're just going to take some grass blocks and put the grass blocks in. There we go, we got 20 grass blocks. As you can see, the system is not activating. These are getting bypassed because they're going right over this hopper here, so they're going right past over here and into this chest. There you go, you got 20 grass blocks there. Same thing with acacia wood you have here. You have your 4 acacia wood blocks, put them through. Again, you're going to have 4 acacia wood blocks that come out the other side, just like that. Now, what did happen if we ended up using grass blocks instead? Okay, let's take a look and see. So let's take out your filler blocks, and let's take some grass blocks. So we have grass blocks going right across. And I'm going to take some grass blocks here, and I'm going to put those instead. So I'm going to take half of these, so 32 grass blocks, and quickly we're going to take a look at what's going to happen in this. So right there you see that first of all it looked to see if there's any grass blocks here. At the beginning there wasn't, but then it looks to the next one over on this side and it sees, oh, here there's grass blocks here, so it starts dumping them out here. Now what happens is you have 2 extra grass blocks here, so that gives you your full signal strength, so it was equal to doing something like this, right? Same thing. So then what happens is everything on here gets dumped out into the system, and there you have your 3 iron ingots that are there, plus your grass blocks that were there from before. You can see there's 1 grass block that's in here as well. So we take the rest of our grass blocks, take those out, and your iron ingots. There you go. Now we go over here, and let's try and fix our filter by going in like this. And there you go, you got 64 grass blocks, and you got your 20 iron ingots. Okay, and now let's go ahead and fix this up again. Just to fix this up, you just take your renamed grass blocks or your renamed items, and then put your 1, 2, 3 items in there, and there you go. Now your item filter is set to go. Now this item filter design is fairly cheap, simple, it's tileable, and compact. It's a fairly nice little design. However, it does have some drawbacks. The number one drawback has to do with redstone current bleeding, or redstone bleeding, as most people would say redstone bleeding. And that usually occurs when you have a number of these tiled side by side, so that you have multiple item filters for individual items. So what happens is, what happens in this case is, with most stackable items, you'll have a redstone signal of 1 to start off, and then when the items start to come in through here, you'll have a redstone signal of 2. Now what happens if you have a lot of items, or maybe some items that would put out redstone signals greater than 2? In that case, you'd have a redstone signal strength of 3 or more, and in which case, if you have another item filter that's right next to here, it's going to bleed over into that one, and the redstone repeater is then going to power the adjacent filter's redstone torch, and then empty out the neighboring filters. Or if you have one that's over here and one on this side here, it'll essentially empty out both filters on each side of it. So that's a bit of a problem. So to remedy this, there are a number of ways you can do this, and I'm going to go over a couple of the ways that I know there are a lot of people who have done done this their way. I'm going to go over what I've done with my way. So this is the design that I've come up with, and you can notice that it's the same thing as here for this one here. It's just been moved forward a little bit, and you have a block over here and a block over here. Now, the nice thing is, if you have a solid block here and you have an item block over here, a comparator can still sense if there's items in this inventory block, even though there is a block that's here, and you can do it right through the block. So I'm taking advantage of that and made a small little item filter that went around like this, and this time the redstone torch is powering this block, and the current from this block is then being applied to the adjacent hopper. So that's how that one works. Then next to it we have a modified version of it. This one's a little longer, and what happens is, for this one it requires a redstone signal strength of 3 to come out. So you're actually going to have to put a lot more items into your filter hopper in order to get this thing to work. So in this case, you have a redstone current of 3 that needs to come out to here. That will turn off this hopper, turn off this redstone dust, turn this hopper on, powering into this repeater, and then turns off this redstone torch, and then that also ends up taking the power off of this block over here, which will allow this hopper to unlock and allow items to fall through. And otherwise the same concept follows. Now, big difference here though is that your redstone wires over here and over here are completely disconnected, so there will be no redstone bleeding. Also, I've seen a lot of other designs that are kind of similar to this. This design, what I like about it is it's completely silent. There's no pistons firing or anything like that is completely completely silent version of that one over there, but doesn't have any form of redstone bleeding. Now, of course, this design is what you may call alternately tileable, and then you have one type of filter here, and then another type of filter here, and then this one will then go on this side over here, and then this one will go on the other side over there. So you'd alternate these two, or you can just, you know, put them together like this and then tile them going that way like that. So I've taken this and I've already filled it up for demonstration purposes. So you can see right now we've got iron ingots in this one here. That's the one over here that looks kind of like the old version of the item filter. And then we have the one over on this side, which has your lily pads instead. And you can see over here, that's like the newer version, so to speak. So if we go ahead and take a look at this, again, this is set up the same way as your item filter over here. So there's no change there. It's the same thing. But in this case over here, you're going to need more items in here in order to make that signal strength of 3 work. So in this case, we've got 10, 10, 10, and 11. So a total of 41 items in your filler blocks. And then you have your 3 items that you want to sort, in this case lily pads, in order for those to be sorted through. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this runs. So we're going to take our lily pads and our iron ingots, go ahead and put those through, and of course the lily pads are going in through first. So you can see that of course the lily pad one is working, and the other one that's adjacent to it is not working because it has not received any items as of yet. So let's let that run, and eventually you'll see that the lily pads are coming in to this chest over here, no problem. And you look here, you'll see that this thing is going to work. Right, there we go. So now, so that one's done, and now we're going over to the second one, the iron ingots. You can see it's going to work there. You can see over here, well, that one's working over there, and there you have your items going in for your iron ingots. There we go. Now let's go ahead and put something else in there. Let's toss in some acacia wood planks, 4 acacia wood planks going through, and of course they're going to end up over on the other side just like that, right? So there we go. Now if we open this up, there we have all of our lily pads, and if we have over here, we have all of our iron ingots. So there we go, everything is all done for that design there. Our final design has to do with non-stackable items. The other item filter designs that we have done are for stackable items. Non-stackable items do not work with these types of item filters. As such, it is always best to try and filter out, if you want to, your stackable items from your non-stackable items. So you know, this is a way to separate them. You can see here the big difference is that the comparator is not testing the hopper below the hopper pipe, but instead is testing the hopper pipe itself. So see if there's items that are passing by. Then it has a hopper just below it that's kind of like your catcher, and then this would go into your chest or whatever other path or hopper pipe or whatever it is you want it to go into after that. So this chest here is where your stackable items are going to go. Now, just to give you an idea, stackable items will let out a full signal strength of 3 from when a comparator tests to see if there are any items in that hopper. So if we go ahead and let's say let's take some, let's take some of these lily pads, or I don't know, we'll take the iron ingots. Let's put the iron ingots in. As you can see, so look at a signal strength of 1. So that strength is not, that signal is not going to be able to wrap around and make it to the redstone torch. So you'll get the items end up right over here with no change whatsoever. This is not going to have any effect on the hopper pipe. Now let's try some non-stackable items. So let's go ahead and position this so I can see the redstone torch. Make sure you keep a good eye on that redstone torch that's down there, what I have right now in my crosshairs. And we're going to go ahead and open this up. You can see the redstone torch down the bottom there, and we're going to go ahead and put a bed in. Now quickly you'll see the redstone torch is going to turn off and on. That means that the item got through. If you look over here, there's not going to be any item in here. Now if you look over here, they're not going to see any item in here either. Where did it go? Well, it's still in this one here, and it'll only pass through when you have a second stackable item that goes through. So let's go ahead and do that. get your second stackable item in this, a second non-stackable item that goes through, in this case, your gray shulker box. Put that in. Again, you're going to see that redstone torch pulse, and then here's your bed. Well, where's the shulker box? It's back inside the hopper right there. Now, if you are going to build an auto-sorting warehouse, it is a good idea to have this at the very beginning of your warehouse, and that way you can get all the stackable items separated from the non-stackable ones. Once you have all the non-stackable items separated from the stackable ones, you can use these item filters over here or here to sort your stackable items, and then what you can do is use various different types of item specific type of item sorters in order to sort out your non-stackable items, be it boats or minecarts or the such. There are some very specific designs for each non-stackable item that is out there. You just have to take a look and see where that is. We'll go through that in another episode. Now, what about building these item filters? Let's take a look at each one. So for this one, it's very simple. All you need to do is you make a shape that looks very much like this one. So I'm going to go ahead and build right up against this, like so. And first of all, I'm going to take this one out. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take yourself a repeater, put your repeater down like so. Make a point into this block on just one tick. Go ahead and have one more block placed over there. Take your comparator, put that right over there. Then get yourself a redstone dust, put that there and there. Next, you're going to take your redstone torch, put that right over there. Then you're going to take yourself a hopper, holding down the shift key, and if you're flying, hold the shift and space key at the same time, and aim right at the back of the comparator over here. Right click so that it points right into the comparator like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your inventory block. In this case, we're going to take a chest. Now, since this is a chest here, I want to make this into a different chest, it's a separate one. So we're going to put a trap chest so that it stays separate. And then we're going to go ahead and put a hopper right here, and there you go. Now you've got your separate item filter like that. Now, if you want to put the chests one on top of the other, all you have to do is work this out in such a way that you'll be able to do such a thing. Now, if to do that, let's go ahead and take a chest that goes out like that, and then we're going to take this out like this. Take a hopper and put that into the chest like that. Take the chest off, so then let's just make it look more nice by doing it this way right here. Now you got yourself a double chest that goes in like that. Next, we're going to have your trap chest, and that's just below it. And then you can go ahead, take a hopper, like so, put that in the back of the trap chest, and then put like that. Now, if you want to, you actually don't need to have a trap chest on the bottom. The trap chests are there so that you can put your regular chest and trap chest right next to each other. So you can actually put another regular chest if you want to, and there you go, works just the same. Now, if you want to have a trap chest right next to this, you can't put a regular chest next to it. You got to put a trap chest. So you can put a trap chest next to this, like so, and then have another one like that, and then you can have another set of item filters going into this one here, right, the back of these. So we're going to take these out quickly. What we're going to do is going to take this one here. We're going to get some filler blocks. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5, like that. And we're going to sort iron ingots, or actually let's sort some lily pads instead. Get some lily pads like that, and put in a third one in so it goes through. And now for this one, it's going to go through up to here. You'll have to make sure that it goes also up to here, so we'll put another one in, one more. And as you can see, it's inched up over to here, but still has not gone into the chest. So now you can sort your lily pads, and you're all done for that item filter. And as you can see over here, what I'm talking about with redstone bleeding, because the circuits are interconnected, and that's why you end up with this type of redstone bleeding that occurs. Over to this design, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build this off on the side on this one over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this here and this here, go like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take another one like this, take this one over here up like so, and then put another one like this and another one like this. Take your repeater, and if you want to, we can actually break this to get out of the repeater's way, and go ahead and put this back on by holding the shift key right there, and then get your redstone torch, put that right there, and that's the first one. Then we have to go and put the comparator and put that right over there. get your redstone dust, put that over there, and also you want to add a block on top here so that it doesn't run into the other circuit. So this is the block. This block is what helps you to make sure that these two circuits and these two circuits do not connect, so they're independent of each other. Then what you do is you take your hopper, have it point right into the block over there. Then you're going to take let's take a chest. In this case, we're going to have a regular, let's say a trap chest, like that. Put that right in there, and then get your hopper and have that put in the back of this one here. Again, we have to set this. So what we're going to do is you're going to take your filler blocks. So we have our 3 to start off. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. And then we need something to sort. So let's take some fireworks. Put 2 in there. And put a third in there to have it go through. And there we go. You are set. You see your item that is down there. And has not gone in through here. So there we have the first one of this particular type of setup. Next we go over the second one. Second one is also fairly simple. You're going to take another block like this, and then you could take your comparator, put that right on top of that one there. Then you're going to take again another building block, hold down your shift key and right click between these two. Then we're going to keep building this out, 1, 2, and then we're going to take this again, go 1, 2, 3 like so, break these two, and then we're going to take a redstone torch, place that there, then take your redstone dust, bring this out like so, take some more redstone dust and put that here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take a block, or like this, take this all out, really like so, build this up like that, and then you just break this off because that's not necessary. Go ahead and take your repeater, like so, put that in there, and redstone torch right over there. Then you have another redstone torch right over here, and there you go. Then all you have to do is go ahead and add your hopper pipe. So for your hopper filters, you have to put one like this. Then you're gonna go ahead and add your chest like that. Go ahead and put this one in here, on the back of this. There we go. Now we're gonna have to fill this up with whatever it is that you want. So let's go ahead and put your filler blocks. This time I'm gonna need 10 of these, right? And of course, there's a little bit much here. So let's go ahead and put 1, 2, and put one over here instead. And then put 1 and 1. There we go. We have our 10 and 11. There we go. Now make sure we have nothing in here and nothing in here. There we go. Next, we're going to take our item that we want sorted and start putting that in. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3 items in there, and then one more in to let it go through. You may notice that this one you may need to put 2 to have it go through, and then you'll have one item that gets let go through there, and there we have it, one in there, and then one at the bottom right over here. There you go. Now that's all set, and you're ready to use your item filters. For non-stackable items is also again fairly simple. This is practically very similar to the original item filter design that's over here. It's just been slightly modified. To build this, you're going to have your hopper pipe set up like that, and then you're going to have your 3 blocks going like this. Then you're just going to go off this way like so, and then how to bring it down like this, and then this would go up like so, and then you just have to take a redstone torch, put that here, redstone repeater, put that over in this nook over here. Make sure that's only one tick. Then you get your comparator. Make sure it's comparing the items in the hopper pipe itself. Then get your redstone wire and put that right down right there. So you have at least 3 that makes it go right down to that section there. Okay. Next, you're going to take your hopper pipe or your hopper or whatever it is you want to put, and that's going to go below this. I'm going to go ahead and just use this as a reference for me to put my chest down like so. Okay, then you have your hopper, goes in the back of the chest, and we can take this one out, and then just push like that. There we go. We have our item filter. There we go. So now we can go ahead and use this to test for non-stackable items and filter out your non-stackable items. Well, that's it for today's tutorial. I hope you managed to find it informative and useful. Please do leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notifications button. If you do have a comment or question, please leave that in the comment section below. Just remember to keep it clean. This is Check Defects, sign off. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.